Welcome to episode 53 of the VR Gaming Podcast. You can watch us on YouTube or listen on any podcast platform. I'm Justin, mame-fan on YouTube, and I'm here with Alex, virtual insider on YouTube. And Alex, are you in France right now?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I am in France. Oui, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Madame. Bonjour.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Oh, oui.
Ooh, So what are you doing in France? Like, is it just for fun?
Yeah, just staying for a couple of months, just because why not?
That must be nice.
Just traveling a little bit. It is nice. It is very nice. Difficult. The language is difficult because I don't speak much French, and unless you go to like a really touristy place, no one speaks English. So going to the supermarket and that sort of stuff's really challenging because obviously you can't read any of the stuff. Going to the checkout, they're speaking to you in French and they don't understand what you're saying, and yeah, it's difficult sometimes, but that's just when you travel somewhere but they don't speak English.
I've heard that the French can be shitty toward the British. Is that true?
To be honest, I've not really experienced it that much. I mean, people are generally okay. I mean, I don't think the French are particularly that friendly anyway, from my experience. But maybe that's because I'm English, they're not friendly towards me. I don't know. But yeah.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of like Monty Python, and like, wasn't there like a French asshole at a castle or something?
There's like a thing between French and British. I don't know. I don't really care that much about it, but
yeah,
some people, yeah, I mean, it's fine. We're getting on fine, managing.
Oh, you're with your girlfriend? Is that what it is? You don't have time for me anymore because you're always with your girlfriend?
That's true. I'm sorry.
Well, what have you been doing with her? Did you take her to Paris and do romantic things?
I'm actually going to Paris next month.
Oh.
So I will be going to Paris, yeah.
Is that where that walkabout level was? Was it Paris or something?
Yeah, it was in the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower, okay.
Yeah. There was it around the world in 80 days, but it was really just in Paris. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, have you seen anything cool?
Not really. Tomorrow we're going to a place where they've got the Europe's tallest sand dune.
Oh, fascinating.
So yeah.
A sand dune.
A sand dune. It's Europe's tallest sand dune. So,
wow.
Fuck you. Sarcastic prick.
Shit. I've never seen a sand dune. I don't know, maybe just the beach? I don't know.
Huh. No, it's like really tall. It's like a really tall one. You have to literally climb some steps to get to the top of it.
So is it like a desert area or what?
No, it's next to the beach, but it's just like where all the sand's collected and built this massive freaking like hill made out of sand.
Huh. All right. Did people like ride down it on like anything?
You could do, I guess. You could get a sled or something and ride down it. That could be cool.
All right. Well, you've been having fun frolicking with your girlfriend. I've been building a new PC. Can you see? Can you see my screen?
Yep, I can see that.
So I had an i7 8700K, and it was holding me back in a lot of games. You know, I had a 4090 already, and so I went to. There's a place. Have you ever heard of a place called Micro Center? People talk about it a lot over here.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I don't think we have it over here, but I've heard a lot of people say it wasn't Anthony from 365. He used to always go on about Micro Centers.
Yeah, I've actually never been there. I'd been to Comp USA when I was younger, but I'd never been to Micro Center. So I went I decided what I wanted. I went there and I was walking around. I was pretty impressed by that place. They just tons of shit there, and they have guys that work there that'll be like, "Hey, do you need help?" And you go, "Yeah," and they're just like, "Bam, bam, bam, bam. Here's what you need. Here's and it's just this, this guy just got me out of there really fast, which was nice. So I got a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D because that's the CPU that everybody's been saying has been good for gaming. And you can see the price here because of this. I got some sort of bundle discount. It was only $197.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty cheap.
yeah, I got this G-Skill 32 gig DDR5 RAM. It's CAS latency 30, which I think is pretty good for DDR5. Then I got this 4 terabyte NVMe M2. It's a Gen 5, which I think is the fastest you can get right now. So I got the motherboard I bought has one Gen 5 NVMe slot, and then the rest are like Gen 4.
That was expensive.
Yeah, that was fucking expensive. It's 4 terabytes though. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Then not on this. I also bought a 4 terabyte Gen 4 drive that I also put in, but I made a mistake there. So what I did was I built this whole computer, built the computer, put the 4090 in. Then later, I ordered that 4 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe, and then I was like, oh fuck, now I have to take this fucking 4090 back out because the M2 slots for those are under the 4090, which is annoying. And my 4090, it's so giant and so heavy, it has this support bracket also, and so it's just kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. So then also I got this, just the cooler is this NZXT Kraken 240. It's just a 2-fan cooler. He was asking me, do you want a 3-fan cooler? And I was like, I don't know if that makes any difference. I don't know if anybody thinks it matters. Let me know. Then I got for the motherboard a Gigabyte X670 Aorus Elite AX. I wasn't sure what motherboard to get. I knew I didn't want an Asus or Asus because I don't know. I've had some issues with them before, and I haven't liked their USB controllers in the past. So my last motherboard was an MSI, and I think that was using. It had some USB controllers that I didn't really like. I was having issues with the USB ports, so we'll see how this Gigabyte one goes. So all of this I paired with the 4090 I already had, and then I already had like a 850 watt power supply I kept that. In the case, I kept the same case. It's just this big ass Corsair case that I already had. So I did this build mostly just to improve VR performance. So some of the games I tested were Crash Bandicoot 4 with UE VR. I definitely noticed I could put the render resolution up higher and like much higher than I could with the 8700K, and it wasn't affecting performance at all. So then Firmament, that was one that had really bad performance. Especially there was this one area I talked about, I think in the last episode, where it was this really big room with these plant tower things that were part of this puzzle that I just gave up on. The performance there was really bad with my 8700K, even when I put the settings all to low, the graphic settings. But with this new 7800 X3D, I wasn't having performance problems at all. So then I tried Subnautica. No performance issues there, even with the settings all maxed out. No performance problems. I tried Bootstrap Island, which is pretty notorious for bad performance, and I wasn't having any performance problems with that one either. But I played for a little bit over an hour, and then just like before with my old system, the game crashed, and I had like this pop up about a UE. It was like an Unreal Engine error or something. So I think that game is just buggy, and it doesn't matter what your hardware is. I don't know, because there was a new update to Bootstrap Island where they added like a satchel or a backpack or something, and they added like building, so you could build a structure and stuff. So I wanted to try that out, but the game crashed on me. As far as video rendering, I don't think it's any faster. I think because the program I use, which is Filmora, it just uses your video card, and I'm using the same video. I think that it relies mostly on the video card for rendering, and I'm using the same 4090, so I don't think it makes a difference. And I think that's about it. I mean, do you have any questions about this?
No, it just seems like a lot because obviously all you've really done is upgrade your CPU.
No, the CPU and well, before I had all just SATA SSDs, and now I have a really
Oh
fat.
yeah, I guess so.
Now I
Yeah.
have the. See, this was my first NVMe drive. I don't know how
Do you
much
think that
difference
makes a
that
difference
makes.
though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It, I mean, who knows? Like when I'm playing these games, I don't. I'm assuming it's the CPU that's making the difference, but how much of it could be the RAM is faster, the hard drive's faster. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
one more thing. So I'm running Windows 11 now. So before it was Windows 10. One mistake I made was when I was like after I first installed Windows 11, started installing the programs I want. I said, well, I need to get all that app data. Like your users app data where it's like local low and then like roaming, all that stuff where like a lot of games save. They put their game saves in those folders. I was like, well, let me just copy that over. Well, that was a mistake because that that app data folder, which by default is a hidden folder, you'd have to make it so you can see hidden folders so for you to see it. That was a huge folder as far as size. So when I tried to copy it over, it was like saying it's going to take over a day to copy this. And it was going really slowly. Then I started looking. I was like, let me look closer at what's in this app data folder. And I was seeing folders like Windows folders and shit. I was like, oh shit, I'm probably going to fuck something up if I do this because maybe some shit from Windows 10 will get copied over to this Windows 11 machine and who knows what the hell could happen. So then while it was in the middle of copying, I canceled it. And then my system started blue screening. And I
Oh
was
god.
shit. Then I restarted, and then like within 5 minutes, blue screen again. I'm like, oh fuck. So then I just reinstalled Windows 11. Then I only took the app data stuff for like programs and games that I really knew I needed. So I kept those SATA drives connected, like that had my old Windows 10 stuff, in case in the future, there's something I need that I need to pull over. Um, but anyway, that was the only trouble I ran into. Usually when I build a new PC, um, that's the most annoying part is reinstalling everything and getting everything set up the way you want. But as far as the hardware build, I always get a little bit annoyed with dealing with the cooler and getting that like connected to the motherboard and connected to your CPU and all of that's kind of annoying. But everything else was fine.
Yeah.
So you want to move on to your first game?
No, we'll start with you.
Oh, you want to start with me? All right.
You've got more games, haven't you? So
Yeah, I have more games. Okay, so we'll start with Madison VR. This is my video of me playing Madison. I played all the way through this game. Game got a lot of hype. It was like being like the scariest VR game ever, scariest horror game ever. And you know me, I don't get scared by games, but
yeah.
I think this game didn't scare me anywhere near as much as a game like Propagation, Paradise Hotel, or like Resident Evil 7. Or
Yeah.
maybe even I don't. Resident Evil 8 never scared me, but Resident Evil 7, was able to scare me. Like when you're getting chased by Jack and getting chased by maybe Marguerite, like that made me feel like major tension. And in that game, you could get killed easily, and they're always monsters chasing you down, hunting you down. The problem with this game is there's very rarely any threat. It's pretty much just a very slow paced puzzle game, and
Yeah.
there are no enemies. You're just
Good.
going around trying to figure out what do I need to do next. It's kind of like an escape room type thing, which I do
Yeah.
like, but it was just that there was so much hype about how scary it is, and it doesn't live up to that. I gotta say. So the graphics I think, are very Resident Evil 7 and PT inspired when you walk around the house. So the graphics are nice. This was
Yeah.
originally a flat game. Here's how the inventory works. You use like your thumbstick and you rotate it around, and then you grab an item out of your inventory. If you're looking on YouTube, there's a video of me playing. So, but there are issues with the inventory and like managing items. So like if you find a new item, suddenly like when you're walking around, suddenly if you pick it up, you can't walk anymore. Like I picked up in this video, I picked up a key and I'm showing that I can't walk around anymore because I picked up this key. You have to put it into your inventory and then go back into your inventory and get the key, and then you can walk around. It's so odd.
Strange.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here, and if you're watching the video, is I'm looking for the key, and then I grab the key, and it's like now I can walk around. Now it's possible that they fixed this because I played this at launch. It's possible
Yeah.
that they fixed it because I did see some update news that they fixed some things. Like there are things like where you'll pull open a drawer and your hand will get stuck in it, like inside the drawer, and they've fixed stuff like that apparently. So a weird thing with this game is you have a Polaroid camera, and so a lot of times the only way to make something happen in the game is you have to use the camera and take a photo of something. And then a lot of times what it does is like the whole screen will shake. There's a lot of screen shake in this game. And if you don't like that, you can turn it off in the settings. But like that's how you know, oh, okay, I did the thing the game wanted me to do. There were a bunch of times where I was walking around this house everywhere, just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do next? And it was just that I hadn't taken a photo of the right thing yet, which I don't really like that. Like, because it's not very logical. Like, that I
Yeah.
had to take a photo with this Polaroid camera of like this thing on the wall, and then that's gonna make something magically happen. I don't know.
Does the Polaroid like change? Like, can you see the
Yeah,
Polaroid?
you get the Polaroid out of the camera, and then you shake it, and then you can look at it, and so sometimes the Polaroid will just be like it'll look like the thing you took a picture of, and then sometimes it'll be like something totally different. Like sometimes the Polaroids are just all black, but then sometimes they'll be I don't know, maybe they'll be a sort of apparition or something scary looking.
Yeah.
So a lot of I felt a lot of the puzzles were kind of obtuse. So I actually I couldn't figure out some of them. I had to go online and look them up. And I saw somebody on Reddit said Madison is a great game, but it's impossible without a walkthrough. I wouldn't say impossible, but some of the puzzles, it's like, what? I would have never thought to do that, what the solution was.
Yeah.
Oh, like in the very beginning of the game, there's a room with a combination lock, and like you're introduced to that room at the very, so soon that you think like, all right, well maybe this is the next thing I have to do. So you go around the house looking, and you'll find like numbers written here and there, and you're like, all right, well maybe these numbers are what I need to do. So you go back to the lock and you waste all this time trying the numbers that you've been seeing around, and it's like, no, these aren't working. These aren't working. I mean, slight spoiler, it's not until the end of the game that you can even open that combination lock. That's kind of annoying
Right.
because you have no way to know that.
Yeah.
Your locomotion speed is really slow, but I guess because it's a horror game and you're in a house, they didn't want you to move around too fast. Let's see. I did try room scale movement. So one time I had a candlestick in my hand that I had to move like from one table to another table. And so I was like, let me test this out. So I did room scale where instead of moving with the left analog, I just walked forward in my room and I put the candle on the other table, and that broke the game. At that point, I couldn't pick up that candlestick anymore. So that's, an example. And then one time I put my headset down to go to the bathroom, came back, put it back on, and then I was like I was above all of these floors. I was like, let me see if I can find it in this video. I mean, I'm skipping through the videos, through the, I don't know. I was way high up in the sky, basically. But I put a link to, I mean, I told the developers about it. Like, when I find bugs and stuff, I'll tell the developers. And
I just saw it then, actually.
oh, you did?
Mm.
Where is it?
We were like up in the ceiling. Like,
yeah, I was up in the ceiling, but I was able to. I just kept walking forward, and I ended up like somehow getting into the attic. But
yeah.
I don't know. I can't find it.
No.
This is gonna.
It looks. I'll be honest. Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, I've actually got this. Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I'm walking around on top of the house.
Outside the map.
Yeah, outside the map.
Off the map type thing. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually got this game because I got a key for it, but I've not played it because, like you said, everyone was just saying about how scary this game is, and I really don't like scary games that much. Like, I've still not finished Propagation Paradise Hotel yet.
That's a lot scarier to me than this, because you can't die in this game for the most part. Okay,
I mean, to be honest, that makes it more appealing to me. Like, you were saying that it's basically just like a spooky puzzle game, makes it way more interesting than like a full horror experience. So, yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
I know you don't like jump scares. This has a lot of jump scares, right?
Yeah, I guess that we have to deal with that. As long as I know that it's like, I guess as long as I know it's not like something's going to like chase after you all the time, and because I find those games annoying as well. If you're constantly being chased and you have to hide and shit, I hate that.
I like that actually. What about Resident Evil 7? Resident Evil 7 when Jack was chasing you down. You didn't like that?
Yeah, I didn't like those bits. I prefer it when you've got a gun and you.
Oh, yeah. I love that shit.
No, they annoy me because all I want to do is just get past that part. I'm not enjoying it. I'm just like, can I get past this part where I'm not getting chased anymore? Because I do find it annoying. I prefer the parts where you like literally got a gun and you can like shoot things or whatever. But
okay,
yeah, being chased and having to hide and sneak around, I find that really frustrating.
And well, there was like, okay, there's one scene that is kind of scary where like you can't see anything basically. It's like there's something in the room with you, but the only way to see it is to take photos with your Polaroid, and then like you'll see something instantly, like briefly, and you'll see it scurrying, and then you have to take another picture, and you'll see it again. You take, but again, it's just jump scares. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
So there were so many jump scares that I was just like, okay, they were so predictable. I was like, okay, a jump scare is about to happen. Oh, jump scare, loud music, and then like the screen shakes, and it's.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. If you do it too much, then it just becomes not scary anymore. It just becomes annoying. And like, I feel like jump scares have got to come out of the blue where you're not expecting them for them to work.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just like constantly walking around a corner and you're like, okay, well, obviously there's going to be a jump scare there.
Yeah.
And then you know it's coming. It's like, even though it makes you jump, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of like annoying rather than actually scary. Oh yeah, that's it's a balancing act in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad game. It's just not nearly as good as all the hype I've been hearing. I've been hearing a lot of people really saying this is like a great game and the best horror game and it's incredibly scary. And I don't agree with any of that.
I think we don't get a lot of good quality kind of like VR games anyway. So I think when one comes along that's like obviously this is a flat game that's been ported. It's been ported by Dr. Beef, so like I imagine the port's pretty decent. And,
the controls at launch, the controls aren't good.
I know they've done some updates with like I've seen with the drawers and stuff, and hand interactions are better now. So
Yeah. So I played all the way through it, and it had it had an unsatisfying ending from what I remember. I can't remember exactly why I didn't like it.
Mm.
Um, and like I was saying, you can get killed like later in the game, but I didn't like that scene either. That it was like you were helpless. There's no point in this game where
Yeah.
you can fight back. And like it was like you have to do this certain task, and if you don't do it fast enough, you're going to die. But
Right.
you're going to get killed over and over and over again, but you respawn right almost
Right.
right where you left off, and you just got to try again. Then you're going to get killed. Try again, you're going to get killed. It was annoying. So,
Yeah, sounds it.
yeah. All right, you ready for your game?
Yep.
All right, Asgard's Wrath 2. I'm interested in hearing this.
Yeah, because you've spent a lot of time talking about this game. I mean, I'm not. I've played like 2 hours maybe, so I've not put a lot of time into it. But they've just done a big update for the Quest 3 where they've like improved the visuals and graphics and stuff. So I think maybe finally I should try it out.
Yeah.
And I will say it does look. It's not like night and day difference, but I think mostly it's like the textures look better. Like they don't look as low resolution.
Did you play it before at all?
Yeah, I played the first like introduction part,
Oh, okay.
and I thought it just looked really crap, to
Hmm.
be honest. So yeah, when I had heard that they were going to do this update, I thought, well, I may as well wait for that, check it out properly. And yeah, I mean, sometimes there's a scene where you're like floating down, like in the dark, and like this light's kind of in front of you, and like all these hands are coming out of the dark and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that looked really cool, like the way that the light kind of shines and lights up all the arms and stuff like that coming out of the dark. That looks really impressive,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it looks good. I mean, I would never say majority of the time I'd say it looks okay. It's like not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's for a game that's obviously running on a standalone device. I think it looks really good. But for a game, obviously compared to some other like PC games, even like the first Asgard's Wrath, it looks fine. It's like it's not. If you're not that bothered about graphics, then it's more about gameplay. Then obviously you're not going to be bothered by that. But I found with the first game, it looked so good. A big part of why I liked that game was just that exploring the environments, going to these different places and stuff. So in this second game, I'm not really that bothered about like exploring as
Mm-hmm.
much because it doesn't look as good. So it's more focused on is the gameplay good to me. That's probably the most important part.
Yeah,
It's
when searching for a video for this, I saw a video where somebody put side by side Asgard's Wrath 1 gameplay next to Asgard's Wrath 2, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a big difference when you put them side by side."
what did you?
Yeah,
Oh right, I'm not
yeah.
seeing that. Yeah, I mean it does look. It look. I mean it definitely looks better than what I first played.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it looked really like pretty bad to be honest. The first
Mm-hmm.
time I played it, so I just stopped because I thought this just like low resolution textures and stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's definitely. It looks like they've like AI upscaled all the textures and stuff to make them look high resolution and yeah, it looks fine. And like I say, it's not like terrible. So graphically, I
Yeah.
think it's fine.
The graphics weren't ever what bothered me about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, gameplay wise, like I say, I've only put a couple of hours in, so like I barely scratched the surface of this game because obviously it's a huge like 60-hour epic. So there's so much to see. But yeah, it's you can dash around. So like when you move, you can dash. You can like do a wall running. You can climb up things with both hands. I've not got any sort of. I've got there's an axe that you can throw, which you can like retract back into your hand. You can use for puzzles sometimes, and then you've got a sword. Because I'm like still playing the first guy. The combat's okay. you have a parry system where you've got to like parry and like slice into them to kill them. It feels, I mean, like I feel like the combat's better than the first one. The combat in the first one was so structured. Like they had this old rune armor stuff where you had to wait for them to attack you so you can parry them to then remove the armor before you could properly attack them. Whereas most of the enemies now, you can just attack them whenever you want. So
Yeah.
obviously, if you parry it, I think you get like cause more damage. But it's still worth kind of like trying to parry and then like counter.
Mm-hmm.
But you can openly just attack them whenever you want.
Are you kind of just like
Yeah.
throwing your axe over and over again? That's what I usually did with Abraxas.
It doesn't seem that powerful. Maybe I need to upgrade it. So
Oh, okay.
I'm finding the swords way more. Like you can kill enemies a lot quicker if you actually get up close with the sword.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm generally, I'll chip away at that health a little bit from a distance, and then I'll just go in with the sword just to kill them. But yeah, I mean, the combat's fun. It's definitely they've already got way more variety of enemies in the game already in the first 2 hours compared to the entire first game, which had like the same few enemies. Or well, it's like I think they only had like 2, 3 enemies in the first game, like, and it was like a 20-something hour game. Whereas this, they've already got like scorpions and yeah, some sort of like, I don't know, lizard men type
Yeah.
things that are attacking you, and yeah, I mean, so the combat's way better, I would say, than the first game, and they've already like they do some really cool stuff already. Like you get to fight this big bird on a lake, on like an ice, like frozen lake, and then you have this big woman who comes up and she's like tries to. So the first you've like got this intro scene, and then you have this section where you're like following the character you're going to possess, like a cutscene.
Yeah, I
Which
thought that was weird.
I didn't like that,
Yeah, I
to
don't
be
either.
honest.
They do
The
that with
entire time I was like,
all of the characters when you first like are about to embody a new character. They do one of those following behind them things.
yeah, because you're literally just watching like a cutscene in 3D,
Yeah.
and it was just like, yeah, it was just like, I'd rather just be in the game. I don't want to be
Yeah.
just watching something happen.
It's
So
exactly
yeah, I
how I
didn't like
felt.
that. Yeah, but well, yeah, then you possess the guy, and sometimes you like go into godly form where you can like solve puzzles. Um, I don't know if there's sections when you're in the godly form when like you can do like attacks and stuff. I don't know. I've not got that far, but yeah, overall, I think I want to play a lot more of it, so I'll wait till I've played a lot more before I give like any real in-depth thoughts on it. But all I'll say so far is that visually, obviously, it's a big downgrade from the first game, but it still looks fine. Gameplay-wise, I think it's definitely a big improvement. I also think the pacing seems pretty decent. Like you have a bit of combat, then you'll be a bit of like puzzly bit, and there'll be a bit of a traversal. They'll give you a new mechanic for like puzzles and stuff. So they're doing a good job so far of like changing things up and reintroducing different stuff to you. Um,
We'll see how
I
you
just,
feel after like 10 more hours of Abraxas.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 60 hours of game, it's going to get repetitive. I mean, there's no way
Yeah.
you can fill out a game that long without you just doing the same shit over and over again. So
Yeah.
that's going
One
to be my main problem, I think.
Once I switched from Abraxas to the next character, I think I started to like it a lot more. I think her name is like
So you've got,
Cyrene or something.
yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like if they kept like each character was like I don't know how many characters is 5, 6 characters, isn't it?
No, it's 4.
Or so
Yeah.
yeah, like if they did like, even just like I don't know 5, 6 hours per character, I think like that would have been enough, and then
Yeah.
I still would have been a 20-hour plus game. So
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
no, like I say, I'll play some more. I'll try and put a few more hours into it, and then I'll come back to it. But yeah, I mean, I got it free with the Quest 3, so I think if you're like me, you played it and thought it looked a bit pants, I think it's worth revisiting now with the update.
What do you think the chances are that you beat it?
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
You have a life. You have a
I think
life
it's.
now, so probably not very good.
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna take me a long time. I mean,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah,
It is handy. Like I will say, it's handy. Like having a standalone game where you can just like slip the headset on and you're just in the game.
yeah.
Because I'm finding. I'll talk about it later maybe, but I'm finding just using the Quest 3 on the PC. Just I just don't like using it because it's just such a pain getting it working and like so many issues that once I'm back home, I've decided to basically use my Valve Index again. So
Oh, really?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the Index for PC. I just don't. Maybe if I got like a good wireless setup and stuff, but then I'd have to spend more money and it's more fucking about. And I think I'd rather just use the Valve Index, to be honest. So
Okay. But are you still doing work with the Quest 3?
yeah, I'm using it for work, and I need it for my job for some other stuff I'm doing. And like I say, I can play standalone stuff because there's some cool standalone games which we'll talk about later, which I'm looking forward to as well. So
Okay.
it was. I don't regret buying it, but
Yeah.
I just think I'd rather use my Valve Index for PC gaming.
All right. Oh, well, I'm going to ask you something about that a little bit later related
Okay.
to that. All right, so we'll go to my next game, and you played this too, but I don't know if you played the PC version, Stride Fates. This came on.
I'll play it.
You played
Yeah,
the
this is
Quest build.
why.
You played the Quest build on PC.
Yeah, I tried to play it on PC, and this is another reason why I'm just going to go back to the Index because I don't know what's going on, but I'm always like up in the ceiling, like I'm always like not in the right height.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter what I do. I've redone my room setup. I've tried using the Oculus native thing. I've tried using the Steam VR. No matter what I do, I'm always like up in the sky, and I just can't. I can't move. I can't progress in the game because I'm like my head's stuck in this helicopter, and my arms are stuck up there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even select the menus or anything. So I don't know what's going on. I've just decided, you know what? I'll just wait and I'll play it on the with the Valve Index. I can't be asked to
If you hold the right
mess with
menu
it.
button, it doesn't reset.
No, I've tried
No.
resetting. I've tried doing everything. It just does
Hmm.
not want to
Okay.
keep me at the correct height.
All right. So I got this. I got a free key because I bought Stride during the period where they were promising to put a campaign into Stride. So anybody that bought the
Mm.
game back then got this for free. And I think the graphics are okay. Not these scenes. The scene, if you're watching on YouTube, this just looks like super hot. I didn't like this part. I don't
It's
remember
like a
what the.
tutorial or something.
Yeah, it's a tutorial part, and it's like, what is it? Like you're hacking or something? I'm trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a hack thing. All right. And okay, one of the first things you'll notice is the voice acting isn't very good. It's like, is this like a human talking or is this AI? I think it might be AI because I think some people complained and I think they said, all right, we're gonna replace the AI voices with real actors. I think the developer said that.
they have done an update apparently, which has
Oh yeah.
done like got rid of all the AI art and get rid of all the. I mean, I don't know what
Okay.
it's like because I've not tried it, like I said, but
The biggest
um,
issue with this
a lot.
game is the AI is terrible. It's absolutely
Right.
terrible. I mean, I mean, you can just if you're looking at the video now, it's like Three Stooges. I mean, it's funny if you want to like have a laugh, and you can like
Yeah.
you can grab the people with both hands if you just grab them and they're just like helpless, and then you could just like throw them over the edge, or you could just like kind of drape them on like a balcony, and they'll just hang there. They're helpless.
Yeah.
They don't seem like they know. Oh, and this guy here kills himself on the bat that's being held out. You can just hold a bat out and he'll swing. And I guess he's punching the bat and it's causing him damage, the enemy.
Right.
So I mean, I assume they're gonna fix stuff like this. Okay, here's where you can just look. This guy he's given up on life. He just bends over and he's just like he's just like give it to me. He's ready to take it in the ass. So
Hmm.
So I don't know. Was that how the Quest build that you played was like? Was it like that?
I mean, to be honest, I never bothered doing like the melee stuff
Oh,
because
okay.
it was a bit janky. So
Yeah.
I always used to just like shoot them. Um,
I just this video is funny. This is this is Mr. VR voice, and sometimes he's kind of a troll, but he's
yeah,
fun. He's funny. He's he tends to shit on games, and I like that compared to like people that are overly positive. So, all right. I kept one of the another issue was I kept grabbing things that I didn't want to grab. So, like, I think they're trying to be sort of like fracked, where you can grab anything and like move it and use it as cover. But like, I was grabbing all sorts of things and walls and doors and all sorts of things that I didn't want. I don't know if you remember having any issues like that. And I was using a Quest 3, not an Index. So with Index, I would
yeah,
have that type of issue all the time.
yeah. There's definitely issues. I mean, like I say, I played like a pre-release version, so I can't really
Yeah.
comment too much
Yeah.
on that sort of stuff because it wasn't even released when I played it. So
Okay. So, um, yeah, I wouldn't recommend this game. It definitely needs updates. I played it once and then I decided I don't really want to play this again. But in this video, the guy's showing that all these people are giving it all these really positive reviews, and he's just complaining that like he's complaining about the whole hype thing in VR. People just
yeah,
overhype everything, and
yeah.
I prefer people to be truthful, and I don't know.
I do personally like when I played what I played of it because I played like 45 minutes of it. I do like. I know you don't really like it, but I like the movement in this game. Like I like you're running with your hands and then you kind of like move your arms up to jump, and then you've got like a grapple hook that you can swing across gaps
Yeah,
and stuff. I
yeah,
like that stuff in
yeah.
this
You do
game.
grip and then trigger, and then that does the grapple hook thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it didn't feel like anything new to me. I had done it in other games, so I guess I didn't.
No, I just think it's nice to have that in like an actual, story-driven campaign, which has
Yeah.
got, and like the graphics are they're not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then the gunplay felt okay when I played it, and they've apparently removed. I think if you play this game, the best bet is just don't even try just to like melee because otherwise you are going to just run into complete and utter jank. I
Yeah.
think if you go through it kind of like shooting and like running around, if you got because like, if you sprint with your hands and then you crouch in real life, you do like a slide and stuff, so you can like slide and shoot at the same time. You can do some stylish like kills and like have a lot of fun with it, but you've got to go into it obviously playing the game like that rather than trying to just break the game and just play with melee. Like it's a game that's definitely not perfect, but I think if you go into it just with the right mindset of just having fun and just shooting and like treating it like a parkour game where you can shoot and stuff in VR, I think this good game could be fun. I enjoyed my time with the pre-release. Like I said, I didn't bother doing any of the melee, so
Okay, I did. I did. I think mostly melee or a lot of melee, maybe half and half. All right.
yeah. Because I mean, I remember Mr. Voice. He made a video about Arizona Sunshine 2,
Oh, he
and
complained
like
about the
shit,
melee on that. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like the melee was such a small part of that game because it was all about shooting. The melee, even like with the weapons, you get a weapon and it breaks, so you could barely use it anyway.
Yeah.
But he had such a massive focus on how bad the melee was. It was just kind of like, I mean, we both played it, we both enjoyed the game. I just feel like if you go into a game and you just like can't try and break it, you're definitely gonna have a bad time. But if you go into a game and just try to just play it and enjoy it, I think you can definitely enjoy Stride Fates personally.
I think the reason I did so much melee is because I thought it was so funny. It was just hilarious to me.
Yeah,
It was yeah.
yeah.
All right. So we'll go to your next game, Max Mustard. Did you get this with the 90%
Uh,
off code? I don't know if that's still active, but in case you don't know and you're listening,
no,
there's a 90% off code that you can find online. Um, if you, I don't know if you search for it.
No, I actually bought this full price because I only had my Quest with me, and I had a couple of hours to kill, and I was like, what kind of game can I play? And then I was like, well, I may as well try Max Mustard since you gave it such high review.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought it was okay.
Oh, really? Oh. Well, how much did you play
It
of it?
feels a couple of hours. I've played a couple of hours of it.
Okay.
I'll keep playing it, but I'm not like I'm desperate to keep playing it. I just feel like it just feels kind of generic to me, like a generic platformer with a bit of VRness added to it. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely generic.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't find it particularly that. I mean, it's like I say, it's okay. I just found it was just very middle of the road, kind of like here's a platformer, here's the bare basic minimum kind of what we can do in VR. I just
Well,
didn't find it anything special.
what about like Lucky's Tale? Did you think like
Because
Lucky's Tale is better?
no, Lucky's
Oh,
Tale
okay.
was. I thought Lucky's Tale was like really nothing special at all. It was just like the most basic
Okay.
VR platform. It wasn't even. It was like a basic platformer,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't really have anything in VR with that game. I didn't think Lucky's Tale was particularly that good.
Okay, so what
It was
about like
okay.
Moss?
Yeah, I love Mars.
Okay, you love
I love
Moss.
Mars.
All right.
Yeah.
You've never played Astrobot, right?
No, I haven't.
Are there any
I
other
want to.
platformers you played, like Ven? Did you ever play Ven VR Adventures?
I played some of that, and I didn't finish it because again I felt it was just like really generic. It was just like a really generic platformer,
Okay.
just in VR. I didn't think it was anything special.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, personally, I thought Crash Bandicoot 4 in UEVR was better than Max Mustard.
Yeah,
I
we did.
enjoyed it
Yeah,
way
we
more.
disagree on that. I've been playing that more, and it's just not keeping me interested. I've been trying.
Really, I'm
Yeah, it doesn't.
surprised. I think it's yeah, it surprises me.
Um, I don't know. I'll talk about that. Well, oh, I did already talk about that because I tested that with my new CPU. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know how far I am in the game, but like, um, I don't know. There are a lot of one-hit deaths, and maybe that annoys me in Crash Bandicoot. That's part of it. But I feel more restricted, where you're very much on a just a very specific path, and maybe that's part of it.
I feel like I feel like Max Mustard's just the same. Like, there's not like
Hmm.
you can go anywhere different. You literally go from point A to point B. There's no like branching
Yeah,
paths or anything.
but it's like there's a wider game area. I feel like a little bit, not super wider, but like
Mm.
I don't know.
Oh,
And
the level that's on the screen now I thought was fun, which is basically like a music level
yeah,
where like they play music and then as the music changes, like blocks change with the music. So like
yeah,
you have to like time your jumps with the music, and I thought that was a really good level. That was the best one out of the lot.
but that's a stolen mechanic from Mario. But of course,
Yeah, I mean
everything is.
that's what I'm saying. It's just yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's literally just it's not got its own kind of like cool identity. I feel like it's just like a platformer, a bit of Giannis. It's not. Yeah, to me, I didn't think it was anything like the way you're talking about it. Maybe let's see, you're part of the problem now. You were hyping this thing up,
Yeah, I'm one of
then
those overhypers. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
were.
I just love platformers, but yeah, yet I'm not crazy about Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah, I never played a Crash Bandicoot game in my life, so that could be part of it. Um, I didn't have a PS1. I don't know. Oh, and I also told you about the double jump issue. When he does the double jump in Crash Bandicoot, he slows down on the second jump, and that just drives me nuts. So I don't know. I can't. Can Crash? He doesn't have a way to like hover, does he? When he jumps.
No, there's no hover thing.
Okay, so like maybe that's part of it. Like I'd get frustrated maybe landing some jumps, whereas in this game she can hover. So like it's easier to judge the 3D distance of where the platform is and stuff, and like align her correctly.
Yeah.
So maybe I just have to get good at Crash.
I mean, Crash Bandicoot is a hard platformer. It's never like Max Mustard's easy. Like
Yeah.
there's no real challenge. I didn't say there's a massive challenge to Max Mustard. I mean, there were some times where I died. Mostly like that music level. Sometimes I died on that because I got the timing wrong. But
Yeah.
like, it's not hard.
No, definitely not. All right. I wonder about that 90% off deal. Like, did they just get like really bad sales? So they just said fuck it. What do you think the deal is with that?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, how much market is there for a VR platformer like that? I mean,
I don't know.
it's a bit like, to me, I don't think it's got. I don't know. I mean, a VR platformer is a hard sell for a lot of people anyway because they want to be in the game like themselves.
Yeah.
Like I say, I do feel like this game, like just visually, art style, everything just feels kind of generic. Like there's nothing that stands out to me that makes me think, oh wow. Like, I wasn't even bothered about playing this game until you like said how good it was.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason I bought it. So
Yeah, this is probably I mean, it might be the game I enjoyed the most so far this year. Yeah. I had like the most fun.
yeah.
Do you think it being a girl and the weird ass name Max Mustard was part of the problem? Like, would a male
Um,
protagonist or maybe a robot protagonist have done better?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it matters. I think you've just got to make sure the character. Like, obviously, if you're playing like a character, which is like a mascot platformer almost, I feel like you've got to do something that makes it stand out. And
Yeah.
I just feel like the character Max
Yeah, there's
just
nothing.
didn't anything interesting, really.
Yeah. Do you care about the whole Astrobot not coming to PSVR too?
I mean, yeah, because obviously I really want to play Astrobot in VR,
Yeah.
and I've got a PSVR2. I mean, I really want to play the first one, but I'm not going to buy a PSVR1 and a PS4 just to play it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like they've got this game, they're not bringing it to VR, they're bringing a sequel out, or not. Well, is it a sequel like another game in the series, and it's not going to have VR at all? It's disappointing, I will say.
A weird thing about that is I saw the trailer and like so many of the things I was seeing in the trailer, especially the bosses, I was like, that boss was in Astrobot for PSVR. So was that one. So was that one. It looked like they just recycled a bunch of shit from the original Astrobot game. So
They probably did. I mean, they
yeah,
probably have like reusing, because don't forget, so many people didn't play Astrobot, so
yeah, definitely.
I feel like they can get away with like just recycling a lot of the stuff from that
Yeah,
and just repurposing it for this new game.
yeah. All right. What do you think? Do you think there's any chance they'll just like later on release here? Now there's a VR mode, or do you think they'll just stick to this? Nah, it's just staying flat. And will you play it flat?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay. I know you like
I played this.
that.
I
You
played.
like that little demo thing, right?
It was cool. I mean, it was free. That's why I played it. It was built into the actual PS5,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows off like the controllers and everything. Because I played it on like a giant screen within the PSVR2, and
Mm-hmm.
it was fine. But the entire time, I was like, I wish I could play this in VR. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not going to rush out and buy this new game.
Okay. All right. Now we'll go to Valheim Ashlands. This trailer here is just like for the 2D game because most people play this game on a flat screen. But there's a VR mod out. It's been out for a long time. But the VR mod on GitHub, it doesn't have the Ashlands update yet. If you want to play this and play like Ashlands, the version of this game that has Ashlands, you need to go to the Flat to VR Discord. And if you go to the Valheim section, there's like Valheim development. If you go in there, there are people that are posting the latest version of the mod. And that's where I got the version where I could actually get to Ashlands and, everything was working right. And they keep posting newer versions. It'll say like Valheim something pre 6, and the next time it'll be Valheim pre 7, and eventually they're gonna put it on GitHub as the full release version. But so Ashlands is the 7th biome. There are meadows, black forest, swamp, mountain, plains, mistlands, and now Ashlands. And we've played through all of those biomes, and beaten all the bosses. And I did a video where Josh and I beat the Mistlands boss. And so Josh and I decided we wanted to try Ashlands since this is a new update. And first of all, we had to figure out where the hell it even was. So we went in the same map we've been in this whole time. And I have over 100 hours in Valheim just in this one map. Like this game, I know one guy on the Rendered Reality Discord. He has like over 1,200 hours in Valheim, but I think mostly flat. For some reason, he plays, I think, mostly flat because I think his PC can't handle VR with this game because it is pretty demanding. Like, did you have performance issues in this game in VR?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I was never like hitting full frames in this game.
Yeah. And playing in VR, I told him that, I played all the way through the game in VR, and he was like, holy shit, you must be pretty hardcore. Because I guess people considered playing it in VR very hard. Because I guess combat would be hard because you don't really see what's around you as well, and I guess it's probably harder to parry and all that shit and use your shield and everything. So anyway,
Yeah.
Josh and I got in a boat. We built a boat, or we found a boat that we had parked somewhere, and we went around, sailing around, trying to find it. First, we went north. Well, that was a mistake because up north is actually like a cold wilderness area where I think the next update, the next biome will be there. It's called the something north. It's kind of like the mountain area where there's snow and everything. So I ended up looking it up. Like, where the hell is Ashlands? I was like, oh, it was all the way at the bottom. Maybe this is spoilers. Maybe I shouldn't be saying all that. But anyway, we ended up sailing all the way down to Ashlands, and the water started to get red and the air started to get red, and they were like, what's going on? The boat's taking damage. What's going on? So then we realized, oh, you can't take just a regular boat down there. You have to make a special boat. We didn't even know that was a thing we could do. So we ended up making the special boat and took it into Ashlands, which turns out to be a molten hellscape, just full of enemies. Like we were getting attacked before we were even off the boat. There was a giant sea serpent that was attacking us. And then once we get to the shore, there are all these fucking skeletons, like, going nuts. Not just the regular skeletons from, like, the Black Forest. I'm talking, these are, like, amped up skeletons that are going nuts. And they're everywhere. This boat that you have to build to get there is really big, and you would assume really can take a lot of damage. They destroyed the boat really fast. I fell, because I was still on the boat. I was, like, trying to take them out with my bow and arrow. They killed me immediately, and Josh just bolted for it and started running across Ashlands. He somehow managed to survive, and he got up some structure, and he built a portal. And I was amazed by that. So then I took the portal there. I kept dying. Every time I took the portal, back to Ashlands, I couldn't survive because, like, these skeleton fucks would just destroy me. And eventually the skeletons destroyed the portal, and we were both just, stuck back at the base. And we still haven't gone back. We were thinking, well, do we need to go, like, grind more in Mistlands and make some, because we lost all our best weapons and all our best armor. What happens is if you die in Valheim, all of your shit that's you're carrying, including your armor and your weapons, it stays where you died. in a tombstone. So you lost all that shit until you get back there. You have to get back there and retrieve your shit. Well, guess what you have? Who do you think is surrounding all of our shit on our tombstones? All of those fucking monsters. So I don't know. I've been trying to research this Ashlands and figure out you can see there's these domes. Well, you need to build a protective dome around any base or any portals you make, or else like the fire rain from this place will just destroy your base and destroy anything you build. And there's just hordes of enemies that will just run you down no matter where you go. So we're trying to figure out what we need to do. So I don't know what else there's to say about it. You're probably not gonna join us anytime soon in Ashlands.
I do want to get back into it, but yeah, it sounds like you need to put some time in it before I'll probably join you.
Yeah, you'll let us do all the grinding, and then you'll come in once we have like a base set up.
Yeah. Josh is my little bitch. He like makes me stuff and gets me all my new armor, and then I just do the glory and just fight for the win.
Exactly. So I don't know. This could take another 100 hours. Who knows? So we'll go to the next one. What is the next one? Oh, 10 Hearts. So this will be the third episode where we talked about 10 Hearts.
Yeah, which is a good game.
Yeah, you played 10 Hearts and recommended it. Then I played 10 Hearts the next episode. And now here I am talking about it again because I beat it. But there are 50 levels in this game. There's a lot of content. So it was like over 14 hours of gameplay. And I kept going back to this game. Like I'd put my daughter to bed and I'd come downstairs and I would go right into 10 Hearts. And I just kept looking forward to it. But in level 50, there was a place where like it's like there's an invisible wall, and so you couldn't get to where you needed to get to solve the puzzles. Even the soldiers couldn't get through the invisible wall. So I went on the Steam discussions, and there were people that have already complained about it, and I think it was like a bug for like a year. They didn't do anything for like a year. And
really?
Yeah, and people were complaining and they weren't doing shit. So I went to the Discord. And I was like, hey, level 50 is an invisible wall that even the soldiers can't get through. It's along the table and through a lot of the room too. I'm playing in VR and can't complete the game. This is the Steam VR version. I was telling them what I'm using. And so that was like May. Wait, is that no? That's May, right? May 8th. And then nobody said anything. And just in the Steam discussions, none of the developers were responding. So then they posted something on their Discord saying like, 10 Hearts has been nominated for an award for its soundtrack. And then they posted, that was on like their announcement sections. This is like a different 10 Hearts section right here on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Then I said, congratulations on the soundtrack being nominated for an award, but fix the game, please. That got them to respond. The guy said, the team are actively working on this issue. Thanks for the feedback. And then like 12 days later, they released a patch where they fixed that invisible wall issue. And they also added, for some reason, the game didn't have graphics or control options before, but they added that. So now there are a lot of graphics options. And with the controls, you can even change it so that your right analog stick, so that you can turn with that instead of having to use the face buttons on your controller to turn.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I beat the game, and it's definitely very emotional. Like pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. When you first started the game, I thought this was just gonna be some little light family shit. I didn't think it was gonna be like, it was like, shit, damn. It gets pretty heavy toward the end. And this toy maker guy kind of turns out to be an asshole.
Really?
Yeah, he turns out to be an asshole.
Interesting. You said you were bored of the 1990s stuff, so
bored of
what you wanted.
Bored of the 1990s.
You said it was all.
Oh, the nice
That
stuff.
nicey.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
nicey stuff. Yeah, yeah. I do like some sort of drama and dark shit. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Cool.
And I actually I related to what this guy was going through toward the end in some
Right.
ways. So,
Yeah, I had a feeling that it would like the story would like I don't know
yeah.
affect you.
Yeah, but I couldn't
It's a
relate
good game though.
I couldn't relate like in some sense, but I don't want to say how because that would spoil
Yeah,
what
yeah.
actually happens. So, yeah, definitely recommend this game. I don't think it sold well. There's some I don't know, it was like a tweet or a post maybe on the Steam discussions where the developer said, "Yeah, the game hasn't sold well, so we were focusing on other things." I think they were justifying why it took them a year to patch it, and they were just like, "The game hasn't sold well, and we had to prioritize other things." But luckily, they still patched it, so you can play all the way through it. And did you play it anymore? Probably
No, I've
not.
not gone
That
back
was a
to it
dumb
yet.
question. That was a dumb question, actually.
Oh, I will go back to it, but I've got so many games. I feel like I've got a backlog building up now. So,
All right.
yeah, I do like it. I think it's a really good puzzle game. It's cheap as well for what you get. Like you say,
Yeah.
like 14 hours, really well made, really high quality. Like graphics are really nice, and yes, it's not expensive at all.
Yeah, I was originally playing it through your account, and then I got to level 50, and that's when I built my new computer. So then I built my new
Oh,
computer, and then we had like doing that, I think screwed up the link between you and we haven't fixed it. So then I
yeah,
was
we
like,
fixed
shit,
it.
now I can't play Tin Hearts because I was actually thinking about playing it flat to finish it. And then I just bought the game. I was like, well, it was on sale for like, I don't know, maybe 14, $15. And I was like, oh, well, that's definitely worth it. Even though I'm already at the end of the game, I bought it. And I wanted to support the developer anyway. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. All right. So here's some pretty big news is that there's going to be a PSVR2 PC adapter coming out August 7th for $60. It'll require downloading a PlayStation VR2 PC application, which includes a Steam VR driver, but it will not support eye tracking, HDR, headset rumble, adaptive triggers, or precision haptics on the controllers. There will be regular like haptics supported. Sony's driver will allow fixed foveated rendering instead of eye tracked rendering.
Mm.
So, Alex, would you have been interested in this if they had all those features? Are you still interested in it? Could do you prefer your in? I think you might have said you prefer your index over your PSVR 2. Is that true?
I don't know because the more time I've spent with the PSVR2, the more I have found that I really like it. So the only downside for me now I've fixed the comfort is just the Miura.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like most games, you don't really see it that much. It's only
Okay.
certain light conditions where you see it. I think if it had like the HDR and like the adaptive triggers and stuff, then thing is with the adaptive triggers, it's got to be programmed in on the game side, so it was never really going to work on PC unless developers specifically support the adaptive triggers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it would have been nice to at least have had the HDR and maybe eye tracking was working so that you could use it on some like because there's some games that do support eye tracking,
Yeah.
like for you know like some flight simulators and stuff like that. But yeah, how much did you say? It's $60 for the
$60. Yeah.
adapter.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
come. It needs a DisplayPort cable that it doesn't come with, which is weird.
Right. I'd be tempted to try it because
Mm-hmm.
I think some games would really work well with PSVR 2. Um, play it on PC, but I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, like I say, I do like my Index anyway, so I might just stick with that. Maybe I'm going to go back to the Index. I'm going to be like, what is this piece of shit, and then never touch it again. I don't know, but
have you not gone back to it yet?
no, I've never gone back to it
Oh.
since then.
Oh, well
I have
then,
gone back
yeah.
to the PSVR2.
Okay.
I mean, I use the PSVR2 all the time, which has obviously got Fresnel lens, really bad Fresnel lenses. And obviously, like the resolution's better than the Index, but it's not as good as the Quest 3 because of the screen door and everything. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All right.
We'll see, I guess, when I go back, whether I actually end up finding I don't like it.
Okay. Oh yeah, Half-Life Alex is on the screen with the PSVR 2. That reminds me, a friend of mine came over, and he's done VR before, like years ago at my house, but
Yeah.
I don't think he doesn't remember any of it. So I put him. First of all, I put him in my Quest 3, and he was in just the virtual desktop home environment. And he was like, "Whoa!" just looking at that, because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, right now I'm surrounded by like this space scene, like galaxies and shit, and he was just like, "Wow!" Just from that. It's always funny when people think it's really cool and they just see that, like the home environment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I was like, I should probably just put him in Half-Life Alex. So that's probably what's going to impress him most. So like, he played that for like, he might have played it for a couple hours straight.
Really?
Yeah. But one thing, like, it was still set on smooth locomotion or free locomotion. So
Yeah.
he put the stick, pushed the left, analog stick forward, like just 1 second. He was like, "Whoa, that makes me feel weird. I can't do that." And I was like, "Oh, really? Oh shit, I forgot about it." And then I switched it. We switched it to teleport, but it just reminded me. And normal people can't handle that shit. You just can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once he switched to teleport, he was fine. And he played for like maybe 2 hours. And I was like, I was, I was like, well, shit, I can just like go do something else while you're playing. I kept coming back. Like, he would get stuck on something, and I'd come back and like, he'd be like, "I'm at this part where this thing keeps grabbing me up in the air." Like, "Oh, a barnacle, and you got to attack that thing." He was like, "Oh, all right," and shit like that. Anyway, after he finished, he was like, "That was probably the coolest game I've ever played in my life." But once I told him, he started asking about like how he could do it himself and the price and shit. He was
Yeah.
like, he totally lost all interest. Because, I was like, "Well, you
Yeah.
need a PC and you need a headset," and I told him the prices, and he was like, he was like, I guess,
Yeah. If you've not got,
normal people, they just don't care enough.
if you've not got a PC, then it is really expensive. I mean,
Yeah,
if he's already a gamer, he's got a PC already, then yeah, you can just get a headset
yeah.
and
He's not
sorted.
he's not
But
a
like,
gamer.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, like having to get a PC, even if it was on PSVR2, you've got to buy a PS5 and a PSVR2. It's still a lot of money. So
yeah. All right, so we'll go to some upcoming stuff now. I don't know if you knew about this. Blade and Sorcery, the End update, that's coming out June 17th. What is that, a couple
yeah.
days? Yeah, that's a few days. Do you know
Mhm.
anything about this?
No, I've not looked into it. I think they're bringing out like the full kind of like crystal hunt
Campaign?
mode, which is yeah, with a progression where you can like find crystals on runs. I think the whole thing's going to be built like a roguelite type thing in it, where you're going through these dungeons and you find these crystals, and then you can use those to purchase new weapons and stuff. So
And
it's
there's
definitely needed.
they have some sort of big rock golem boss or something, it looks like.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out because I do like the game overall. It's
Yeah.
definitely like janky as fuck at times, but I think that it just needed something to like give me a structure to play through. So I'll definitely have a look at it and see what it's
And
like.
haven't you made a lot of Blade and Sorcery videos?
Yeah, it's a popular game, so I've made
Yeah.
a few. You always get reviews. So.
Yeah. Are you gonna keep making videos, or what do you think?
I haven't got the time at the moment.
Yeah.
I've stopped like my Patreon and stuff, so I'm not like doing anything with that. I'm just gonna make them when I can and when I want to, really, rather than try and. I was kind of running out of videos to make because like when you see all these YouTubers and they're like making these, they just turn into complete hype machines because that's what gets views. So then that's why it's like every game's like, oh my god, this game is insane.
It's amazing.
Oh my god, this is the best game ever. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be that YouTuber. So, and I was running out of ideas for videos to make that were different, that were going through like other stuff, and it was starting to get to a point where I wasn't enjoying it. So,
Yeah. All right. This is probably the biggest release coming up. Riven. It's coming out June 25th for PC and Quest. I don't think it's coming to PSVR2 yet.
no.
And there's a demo now on Steam, but from what I heard, it's only for the flat version, not for the VR version.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this because the Mist remake was really good.
Yeah.
And this is like equal to Mist, which is like the good games that, like, if you look at the video, like if the video that's playing, like, visually, it looks really nice.
And it has to be better than Firmament.
Yeah, Firmament was a massive disappointment. But yeah, Mist, and apparently there's the Riven game was supposed to be like the best two that they've made, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one.
Yeah, I'm going to the Cayman Islands on the day this releases. So
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go scuba dive for 5 days.
Nice.
So I was like, could I bring my Quest 3 and play this on Quest, or should I just wait? I'll probably just wait and play it on PC.
Yeah, you want to get the full
Yeah.
fidelity version because a lot of this is just graphically really nice. So.
Yeah. All right. This is a new new announcement is Hitman 3 VR Reloaded is coming to Quest only in the summer. And you and I both played Hitman 3 for PC VR. I don't know if you did a video of it. I did a video of it.
I made a video, yeah.
Oh, okay. And most of this is just this. I guess this is an actor. This trailer. I can't tell if this is. Yeah, it's probably just a real life actor, and it's just
or CGI.
Or CGI. I'm not sure. At the very end, they give you a tiny glimpse of the game, and it does not look very good.
Yeah, they've gone for a cell shaded look because obviously they can't get it to run on the Quest 3 looking like an actual.
I'm pausing it. That doesn't even look cell shaded. I don't know what. I paused it on the. It says beta footage captured in MetaQuest 3 headset.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah.
It's a shame because the game in VR is cool. If they could actually fix all the issues. It didn't even have room scale. Like you couldn't even room scale in the game. You couldn't really physically turn properly. You'd have to constantly recenter yourself and shit. It was really bad.
So you pretty much have to play seated and yeah. And you and I prefer to stand and turn. Yeah,
it wasn't good.
But
I mean, I guess it's another game that's coming into VR, and hopefully it sells well and encourages more developers to make games for VR. So,
and you would assume that this is going to have much better VR interactions, and there's dual wielding pistols you can see in this video. I don't think you could do that in the other one. I don't know.
It's made by XR Games, which I'm trying to find out who they are.
I listened to the latest Recentered podcast. I listened to it and they talked about this, and I think they said something about XR Games and what they've made before, but I don't remember.
Oh, they're making. Oh God, they made that Zombieland.
Oh, I never played that. Did you play that?
Yeah, it looked terrible.
But a lot of people said it was good. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Apparently they've made. Are they making the Zombie Army VR game as well?
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jurassic World Aftermath. I think they've made maybe a port of that for PSVR2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know enough about the studio to know if they're going to do a good job, but the fact that it's been handled by an actual outside VR specific studio is good because the developers themselves did a bad job for both
Yeah.
PSVR 1 and PC. So, I think that's always the best way. Like, get that's why obviously you've got Flat to VR studios who are specializing in making ports of non VR games and bringing them to VR because they can do like a much better job than these studios will ever do themselves. So.
Do you have any flat to VR news?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. All right. I always thought it was funny that this developer is called IOI, and then in Ready Player One, wasn't that the evil corporation?
Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
the co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Alien Rogue Incursion, we got a new trailer. So I'm playing that trailer right now on YouTube, and it shows some actual gameplay. Whereas the other one was just like all you saw was like maybe a planet. And we can see walking through a dark corridor, they have the little what's that little detector thing? There's some eggs with some face huggers opening, some xenomorphs crawling. It's kind of, some people have said it's kind of low frame rate a little bit in the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer looks really low frame rate,
Yeah, it's
to be
weird.
honest, but not sure
And
why you'd capture because I imagine they capture it on PC, so why not? How can you
it
capture
says
such?
captured on PS5. That's what it says at the bottom.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah. So maybe that's, I don't know, maybe they're working more on that version. I don't know. I don't know why you
I
would.
mean, I'm looking forward to it though because I love
Yeah.
the Aliens franchise. So
Yeah. I've heard a bunch of people speculating. I don't know if it's just because of the title, but people have speculated that it's a roguelite. Maybe just because of
yeah,
Rogue Incursion.
that does make me feel that way, but they do specifically mention that it's got like a story and everything, so that makes me a
Okay.
little bit. I mean, I hope it's not because I really don't like roguelites, but we'll see.
Yeah. I still haven't seen the last Aliens movie. I need to see that.
Covenant, is it?
I think so.
Yeah, it was. It was okay. I could get into it, but like they just break a lot of the lore. I felt like
Okay.
some of the stuff with the from the first films, they like just do some dumb shit with the alien, like how
Okay.
quickly it gestate, within a few minutes, it somehow gets on top of someone's face, bursts out of the chest, and it's fully grown within like the space of I don't know, maybe an hour's timeline in the film, which doesn't
Jeez.
make sense compared to yeah.
I watched two. See, I like the Predator more than Aliens. So I recently watched Prey, and that was really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's really
really
good.
good. But then I also watched The Predator, and that sucked. Have you seen The Predator?
I think so.
It
Which
was.
one? Remind me
It
what?
had Olivia
what
Munn, and it had a little kid.
oh yeah, I've
The
seen
little
it.
kid is like autistic or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and they had that giant predator that comes down like
yeah.
he's like
Oh, it sucked.
11 foot tall or something.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then they had the little
really.
the dog predators too. Do you remember the dog?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, that
it was
sucked.
kind of sucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Next one is Skydance's Behemoth. So that they finally came out with a gameplay trailer, and they had content creators come and try out the game.
yeah.
And it kind of looks like Skyrim to me. I mean, not open
I think it
world.
looked great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it looks good. You
but
have
the
this like
combat looked really satisfying.
you
And
have this hook
yeah,
shot thing where apparently it can like pull you through the air really fast and shit, and you can pull things down. The people that tried it, they said like they only got to fight like one enemy at a time. and that it was way
Yeah.
too easy. But it wasn't the actual game. It was just like some sort of specific build for
Demo.
them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope that doesn't mean like there are performance issues having multiple enemies, so they only gave them one enemy at a time. I don't know. It's like the trailer isn't what they were playing. There's
Yeah, the
some,
trailer looked amazing.
yeah, and they liked fighting or dealing with this giant beast here that looks like an elephant seal in the face.
Yeah.
You could, I think you could climb it. Speaking of that, if you want, see a lot of people saying they love Shadow of the Colossus. If you want to play that in VR, the closest thing is Pray for the Gods. That's on Steam, and
Yeah.
there's a Raikou Parta mod, so you can play that in VR, but you have to use a gamepad. It's not
It's
motion
third
controls.
person.
Yeah. Pray for the Gods. Pray is Praey. I thought that was cool. I remember it having bad performance, but now that but that was back when I had who knows what GPU. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now it should run easily. I don't know. Anything else to say about this?
I just think it looks great. I mean, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is that it's going to be in the snow all the time.
I
But
don't like snow.
actually,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, they
No.
did actually show a little clip where it's not in a snowy environment. Actually,
Yeah.
towards the end, so it looks like it's going to have a bit more variety. But yeah, I think I love Saints and Sinners. I love the combat, but it was very like you just aim for the head and kind of that's it. Whereas
Yeah.
this is obviously because you're fighting actual human enemies. If they can take that kind of like visceral, weighty, kind of physics-based combat, put that into like something a bit more open, so you can be a bit more flexible and like a bit more variety of enemies, I think it could be really, like really good. Because this is the game they've been working on mostly. The Saints and Sinners Retribution was clearly just DLC repackaged.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was a full game.
Yeah.
This is like a new full, game from scratch. So I'm surprised that they didn't go for Skydance are actually a really big like part of a big movie studio.
Oh, really?
Like they make some really big games, like they made Top Gun and all sorts of like the new Top Gun film and stuff. I'm really surprised that they haven't gone for another big licensed IP again, like Walking Dead. Just because it just makes the game so much more marketable. But they've decided to obviously make their own new IP. So I just hope that it gets like the attention from like non VR media, because like Walking Dead got a lot of attention because it's Walking Dead from non VR media, whereas Behemoth's like no one knows about Behemoth. So will anyone outside of VR care enough to want to try it? That's the big thing.
Okay, and this is coming to all platforms. This is a Quest 3 exclusive, I think.
Yeah, this is a Quest 3 exclusive, and there's another one that got announced, which is going to be Quest 3 exclusive.
Yeah.
So, and Alien Rogue Incursion is going to be Quest 3 exclusive. So,
Okay.
like more and more games are just coming to Quest 3 now, not Quest 2.
Yeah, and
Which is good.
the final game, the other Quest 3 exclusives, we've already talked about this, but there's a new trailer. All of these games we've already talked about, these last three. Batman Arkham Shadow, so there's this new trailer, but it's just some CGI.
Yeah. And when we say Quest 3 exclusive, we mean like it's not coming to Quest 2, but this one's actually gonna be just a Quest 3 game, but the other two are coming to all platforms and Quest 3. So you'll still be able to play the other two, like the Alien game and Behemoth on PC and PSVR2. But this one is actually, I believe, is literally just Quest 3 only. So
yeah. And
but yeah, we haven't seen any actual gameplay yet.
I mean, this looks like pretty realistic, so you would think, well, then the game's probably going to look somewhat like this, but, of course, lower resolution. Maybe.
And they put some screenshots up somewhere, I saw.
They did?
And I'm sure there's some screenshots somewhere now.
Really?
And it looks really good.
Well, I'm going to look for that. I'm going to look for that right now if I can. Oh.
Yeah, the screenshots look really impressive.
Shit. I'm using virtual desktop with multiple monitors, and I'm like, oh shit, well now I got to figure out how I'm going to reorient. Let me see. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna Google this right now.
Sure, I saw some screenshots somewhere. Where is it? Oh yeah, they are. If you go to the actual meta.com website for Batman Arkham Shadow, and scroll down, there's actual screenshots on their page. I mean, I don't know how like they aren't going to probably like exactly what it looks like in the game, but like they've
Okay.
got a picture.
I'm on Reddit seeing some screenshots.
Yeah, I mean it looks amazing from them, those screenshots, but how much it looks like that in game, I don't know. But yeah, like they've got like they show some combat where they, like it looks like you're gonna have to like punch like enemies in certain points, like one. It's got like 1, 2 written on it, so you're gonna have to like hit them in a certain order, and yeah, it's gonna be quite scripted
Okay.
for the combat.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
All right. Let me see. I'm dealing with these multiple monitors in virtual desktop. So this is like
Yeah.
uh, a little bit screwy right now. Wait a second. Shit. This is the first time I've ever tried this multiple monitor thing in virtual desktop.
Yeah.
Today was the first time. Okay. Well, you're not seeing everything I'm seeing, and I don't know how to fix that. Let's see. I'm gonna try to. No, it didn't work. I don't know. You can see some of it.
Yeah, I mean, anyone listening, just Google, Batman Arkham Shadow.
There you go. I got a little bit more of it.
You should find them on the Meta website.
I don't really like seeing the 1-2 punch things. You're just gonna have the enemy's gonna come up and you're gonna have to punch these numbers in order or something. I don't really like.
I imagine so.
No,
I mean, I think that melee combat's really difficult to do in VR, and like so many different ways to do it. I feel like it's more kind of like they're going for like Until You Fall style, where it's like a very scripted kind of place your sword here type thing, but it'll be you fist fighting with these guys. But you've got like it'll show you they'll counter and punch and all that sort of stuff. Which I think as long as they ramp up the difficulty and like it flows nice, could be good. But if it's like really slow, where it's like the guys take ages to even throw a punch and it's really easy, then it's going to get boring pretty quick.
Well, I liked Iron Man VR, which this studio Camouflage made. I can't remember Iron Man. I guess you're just shooting constantly. There was no melee in that game, so. I have played games, but I of course, like in Creed, when you're doing training, you have to punch numbers or something like that.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's not all like that. Like all the melee is punching fucking numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it says on the thing that you've got different gadgets and stuff, so there'll be some combat, there'll be like batarangs and stuff, so yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a bit of a system seller in a way, like, because Batman Arkham series is like a huge franchise. Bring in a VR game, because also we had the like little demo thing we had. That was like a teaser towards a full game. So in a way, I'm hoping that this is like, the full game that we've always wanted to play with Batman.
Yeah. All right, that's it. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
I'll play some more games and we'll talk some more next month.
All right. Well, enjoy your time in France.
Merci beaucoup.
What are you going to do with your girlfriend now?
Go to sleep, because it's literally like midnight here. So.
Oh, that's not sexy. Okay.
No.
Okay, well, I guess au revoir.
Au revoir.